Today at 4.
So testing has expanded here. We're obviously working to do it even more.
Orange County's new coronavirus testing site opened today. How the testing process there works and how they're determining who gets tested. Plus, we're asking officials at OIA how many flights from New York are still coming here after the governor ordered all people coming from there and 2 other states to self-isolate. And breaking right now, at any moment, Osceola County leaders are expected to give an update on what they're doing to deal with COVID-19. In the last few minutes, we found out Osceola County leaders are expected to announce a stay-at-home order. We'll bring you that news conference live when it happens. Good afternoon. I'm Vanessa Eccles.
And I'm Greg Warmuth in our other studio as we continue to practice social distancing. Now, in the last hour, President Trump approved a major disaster declaration for the state of Florida, and he ordered federal assistance to help state, tribal, and local recovery efforts. Today, state health officials announced 215 more cases of COVID-19 in Florida and said 2 more people have died. There are now 22 deaths and nearly 1,700 cases total. There are nearly 200 cases in Central Florida alone, and you can see a county-by-county breakdown of those cases on your screen. Orange County still has the highest amount in Central Florida with 77. Of course, that's our most populous county. Throughout the next 2.5 hours, you'll hear from our whole team of reporters spread out across Central Florida and in Washington, D.C. as well. They're covering every angle about what local leaders are doing to deal with the coronavirus. And we begin at 4 with Channel 9's Lauren Seabrook, who joins us live from the testing site in Orange County. And Lauren, a lot of people showed up on this first day.
Greg, the line has been long all day long, but I do think that they have just recently cut it off because we can actually see the end of the line right now. And I counted out these cars just a few seconds ago. There's about 16 in line at this moment. But about half an hour ago, they told us they already had 187 people who had been tested, and they're only allowed to test 250 people here today. So obviously they were getting very close to that limit. About 10 people waited in this line only to be turned away right at the end. And about 75 people were turned away from the first checkpoint. The only way to really see just how many people lined up to be tested is from the sky. And this doesn't even show all the people in our community who need or want to be tested. These people all fall under 3 specific categories.
Please make sure that you do qualify. So if you're 65 or older, you would need to have an on-site temperature of 99.6 or higher and respiratory symptoms.
They will also test any first responders or medical staff with a valid agency ID, but that's it. And right now, the site only has a total of 2,400 tests for the foreseeable future.
We are federally mandated at a 250-person maximum per day.
Everywhere has, quote, testing kits, but what is in short supply is the collection swab to take the sample.
Governor Ron DeSantis visited the site as it was opening. He says this is one of about 6 drive-through sites around Florida. The other Central Florida location is in the Villages. If you need to be tested here, you'll take iDrive to Convention Way. Then you'll be funneled into the line and eventually pull up to one of these tents.
That's where a nurse is doing the on-site temperature. She's asking those questions the CDC has been releasing. Have you traveled within the last 14 days? Have you come in contact with a confirmed case?
And one of the reasons why this testing is so important is because many decisions are being made based on the number of cases in each county or each part of the state. So for Eyewitness News at 5, I'll be asking the governor if it's fair to make those decisions based on the number of cases in each area when we still do not have enough testing. Reporting live in Orange County, Lauren Seabrook, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
All right, Lauren, we will check back in soon. Meantime, that breaking news in Osceola County, here's a look. We're told local leaders are about to announce a major announcement, a stay-at-home order for Osceola County. This is a live look at where that news conference is expected to start at any moment. The latest census numbers show that Osceola County has a population of some 360,000 people. And of course, a lot of our amusement parks and theme parks are there as well. We will bring this to you live as it starts, but big news coming out of Osceola County shortly, Vanessa.
An Orange County stay-at-home order will go into effect tomorrow night at 11 o'clock. It's going to last for 2 weeks until 11 p.m. Thursday, April 9th. During that time, you're supposed to stay in your home. You can only leave to buy groceries or supplies for work from home, to pick up takeout, exercise outside, walk your pet, or go to a doctor or pharmacist. You can read more about the order on the coronavirus section of our website, WFTV.com. It is now day 2 of that travel order put in place by Governor DeSantis. Anyone from Connecticut, New Jersey, or New York has been ordered to quarantine for 14 days. But so many are questioning what that order can really do to stop people from infected cities from bringing it here. Channel 9's Shannon Butler was at the governor's news conference today, and the flights are still coming, Shannon.
Yes, they are. 44 into OIA just today from those 3 states. And for the second day, the Florida Department of Health has not been able to tell me how many employees were working the gates or able to tell me how they will enforce the law if people don't do what they're told. The flights from New York City are still coming into Orlando. The governor can't stop them because that's up to the feds. So Governor Ron DeSantis said he's doing what he can to try to stop people from the epicenter now of the coronavirus pandemic from coming here and infecting Floridians.
It's a little intimidating. We were asked not to move until we fill out a form.
The governor said New Yorkers began fleeing the city less than a week ago. He told us today at a news conference that once the order was in place to stay home, people started to flee the city. He says he knows that based on flights. He said on March 17th, there were no flights into OIA from the city, but on March 18th and 19th, there was 1 flight. Then on March 20th, when that order was announced up north, but not in place yet, he said 9 flights that day came into the city beautiful. And after that, more and more.
Once you get beyond that, starting March 21st and each day, 29 flights to Orlando, 38 flights, 40 flights, 44, 26. So that's a lot of traffic.
That's why he said he put his order in place, saying that everyone from New York on the airlines should self-quarantine for 14 days. The National Guard and the Florida Department of Health will be taking names and information of those passengers at the gates. Now, we did ask for the governor about the drivers that come into Florida, again saying it's just too hard to manage, Greg.